Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Anthony Joseph Sports Show. I'd like to welcome in my special guest this week, Caesar Rodney's girls soccer coach, Dale Gravatt. Coach Gravatt, thanks for taking the time.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Now, your team in the regular season, 14-1. How would you describe the regular season?
I thought the regular season went very well. We played very well, I thought, as a team all throughout. We started the season ready, and we played well all throughout. So I'm real pleased with the outcome of 14-1.
Your only loss in the regular season at the hands of Sussex Tech, 1-0. They snapped your 67-game regular season streak. That's really impressive. What happened that day?
Well, Sussex Tech's a good team. They were in the state finals, or state semifinals, like we were. They're a good team. They played very well. So did we. I think we played very well. It's just hard to win every game, and it's hard to always be on and to score. And that night, we just didn't score. We had a lot of shots, and to their credit, we just couldn't get one behind them, and they found a way to get one behind us. So we took a loss. But
what did that streak mean to you, 67 games? That's really remarkable in girls soccer, or really any high school sport.
Yeah, I suppose so. I tell you, honestly, I didn't really think about it that much. I did like the conference championships and still would like to go back and get that next year. So losing the conference stung us pretty good. The streak I didn't really think about. I just knew that we were hard to beat, whether we're in conference or out of conference, and we just try to play our best. So I talk more to the girls, and they buy into more of, let's just play a real good brand of soccer, and we'll win. We'll win. We might not win all of them. Nobody can, but we'll win most of them.
Who are some of the key players that you're counting on this year?
We count on everybody. Our whole team are key players, in my opinion. We got some great players. Certainly, leading the list is Lexi Prilliman. She is the number one player in the state, at least voted on by the coaches, and I think the most dangerous player in the state, the best forward in the state, and just a complete player. Just a fantastic player. Another great player we have is Alexa Falmino, who is also a first-team All-State player, ranked in the top 11, certainly the best right wing in the state, and one of the best players. She's real close to Prilliman. They're very good, and they play well together. They're very unselfish. We got a great midfielder in Janiyah Moore, who's a two-time All-State player, second team freshman year, second team this year. Excellent player, great conditioning, sees the field well, great header. And then we have I think all of our backs are good, but we're led by Holly. Her name is Allison Hollinger, but the girls call her Holly. She's a 2-year starter, and we only lost 3 games in those 2 years that she's been a starter. So she's a leader of our backs. And I also think we have a great keeper, Kessie Stevens, kind of an unsung hero, because everybody, I think, when they think of CR, they think of attack. Well, we only gave up 4 goals this whole season. 2 of them were PKs. And I think Kessie's a great keeper.
Tell me about Prilliman. She was recently named, as you're mentioning, a Gatorade Soccer Player of the Year. What makes her such a phenomenal player?
Because she has all strengths. And if you look at every area of soccer, she is the strongest or tied for the strongest in the state in that area. She's one of the fastest players in the state. She has good size, 5'9". She's 2-footed, and I mean she can play with either foot. There is no difference. She can dribble with either foot. She can shoot with either foot. She's a great leader. We have 2 captains on our team, Shelby Warren and Lexi Prilliman. And Lexi's a great leader on the field, off the field, straight-A student, sees the field well, unselfish, but can do it herself, can cross the ball with left or right foot, and plays great defense. She has no weakness. She is strong in every category, and she's probably the smartest player that I've ever coached, at least on the female side.
Now, you advanced in the DIAA state tournament to round 1 and round 2. What was the keys to victory?
Well, we have a potent attack. We can score with a lot of different girls, which we did in the state tournament. And it's hard to lose if you score 4 and 5, which is what we did the first 2 rounds. We scored 5 against St. Mark's and then 4 against Archmere. We have a very good attack. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say how good our defense was. We played 3 games, and we didn't give up a goal in the run of play. Even the game we lost against Padua, they did score on a PK, It's hard to stop that, but we didn't give up one in the run of play. So I'm real proud of our team defense and our attack. Both ways, we played very well.
Now, talking about that Padua game, you were tied 1-1 through the end of regulation in the overtimes, and it led to the penalty kicks. What was the difference in that game?
Like Tech, we didn't score. I thought we played well. And like Tech, Padua was a strong team. Padua was very strong. They won the title the last 2 years. They're very, very strong. And they kept us off the board other than we got one. We did score one. I thought we'd score more, frankly, because we have such a potent attack. But we just couldn't get that second one in, and they held us down. And they're a great team, and they put us under pressure, and they got one. So throughout the 100 minutes, I just thought it was a great game to watch. Two Titans, evenly matched. And I'm real proud of our girls, like Coach Brown is of their girls. And everybody was a winner. The girls were a winner. I don't care who won or lost the game. That was a well-played game by two premier teams. Coaches were winners. We both knew it could have went either way. Unfortunately, for the second year in a row, those long overtime games have went against us. In the shootout, I'm not a fan of the shootout. I think it's a crapshoot, and just don't like that. I like to see it end with the girls finishing it, even coming back another night. But it doesn't matter what I think. And we're fine with the rules. We know what the rules are, so there's no complaints.
In overtime, how close was Perelman to get her shot? It was a breakaway shot. She got tangled in a player, and I think some of the fans I read that thought it was a foul. Was it a foul? And how close was she to score that goal?
I guess it was a tough call. It's one that didn't go our way. Unfortunately, I wish it would have went our way. I felt like Lexi beat, I think, two defenders on that, and she did a lot of damage, but that call didn't go our way.
So Padua, they won the state championship. How do they rank compared to last year's team?
Well, hats off to Padua. Coach Brown and all their girls, they're a great team, great players. I like to have a lot of their players. That's how good they are. But they find a way to win. In the trenches against formidable teams like Charter, hopefully us, and they pull it out. They find a way, and that's a really, really key. I really think a lot of that is the coaching. You find a way when you're a great coach to squeeze one out. And they're tough. We look forward to playing them next year.
And your records for this year, 18-1 last year, 18-1 last year, 16-2 this year. How would you compare the two teams? Any similarities?
Oh, they're very similar. Very similar. They're both very strong, both potent attacks, very good defense. I don't know our stats last year, but we gave up 4 goals this year. We scored a ton, over 100. And I think our stats were similar to that last year. Very similar teams. Last year we got to the finals, and then we lost to Padua. This year we caught Padua in the semifinals, and we lost to Padua. Both teams played Padua to an overtime loss. Both teams played almost 100 minutes. So I would say the teams are very comparable, pretty much even that we had from last year to this year. I do think our team this year possessed the ball a little better. I think we passed it a little better than last year's team.
After that loss to the Padua 2-1, what did you tell your players?
That we can't come any closer and not win. It was as close as a team could ever get. But I might be corrected because Charter lost in the shootout 5-4. We lost in the shootout, I think, 4-2. So we did well. I was real proud of the girls. I don't think we were outplayed other than in the shootout. I thought the teams were evenly matched on the field, and just a great game to watch, great game to coach, and a great game for those girls to play in. Unfortunately, when you're in any tournament, one team wins it all, everybody else goes home a so-called loser. But there's no way our girls are losers, nor are the Charter girls or the Tech girls. You get to the semifinals, you got a dangerous team. And I think all 4 teams showed that. But like I said, congratulations and hats off to Padua. They're tough.
How many do you return next year?
We lost 2 seniors. One of our seniors was a captain, Shelby Warren, who got injured before our first game. And she was a returning first-team All-State player. It was a tough loss for our team to deal with all year. And our other senior is a good player named Tatiana Marshall. So we lose 2. but only one entered the field all year because the other one was hurt, Shelby. So we got most of our girls back.
Speaking of a lot of talent,
which is very exciting.
Okay.
Sorry about that. It's
Yeah,
very
that's
exciting.
fine.
I don't want to get too excited about it, but I'm thrilled. We got a lot coming back.
And hopefully you'll make the semifinals and perhaps make the championship game once again.
Well, we hope to. We take them one game at a time because we know anyone can get beat. And we don't want to think highly of ourselves, that's for sure. Until we beat the best, first of all, we're not the best. And we haven't beat the best. We're going to keep working, and we're going to keep nose to the grindstone, and hopefully stay hungry, stay humble, and stay hungry.
Now, you also had a phenomenal player, Jasmine Reeves, who went to Virginia Tech. She was the former Delaware Gatorade Player of the Year in girls soccer. What made her so special as 2 consecutive years Gatorade Player of the Year?
Like Lexi, Jazz had great pace, just great dribbling ability. I think Jazz was one of the best 1v1 attacking artists which I've ever seen, and Lexi's cut from that same mold. They're both very good 1v1, and they can take over a game. When you can take over a game on a good team, and good teams take their best players and mark you, which is what they did to Jazz, and what they're doing to Lexi now. Everybody's putting their best player on Lexi, and still be dangerous every game, and everybody worried about you, then you're for real. You're the real deal, and that's what they are. If I can talk just a little bit more about Lex, because even though I said a lot of accolades, I feel like I left some things off the table. She was Gatorade Player of the Year. She was also the #1 player in the state, ranked by the Coach Association, which she should have been. She scored 38 goals, and she is marked by the other team's best players. In the off-season, Lexi does things like she plays on a club team, like most serious varsity players do. She played in the ODP team. She made the regional team and then went to Boca Raton, Florida in November, Lexi Perlman, and then went in the spring, early spring, went over to Spain and Portugal and played there. So she's played with the best people, some of the best people in the country, and everywhere she can. She looks for the top competition everywhere and then excels in that. Even when she went to Spain, she scored, I think, 4 goals. She had 4 games, she had a goal and assist. So our team's a lot more than Jasmine Reeves was for us.
Is she being recruited by a lot of the D1 schools?
Lexi Perlman? Yes. In fact, she's already gave a verbal commitment to the University of Richmond in Virginia, which is a D1 school. So they're looking forward to getting her. She's got another year with high school, which I'm thankful for.
Okay.
But that's pretty much a done deal. Yep.
Well, Coach Gravatt, before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, there is. Other than keep saying I'm real proud of my players, I would like to just stress, everybody knows about our attack, but our defense again, because they don't get near the credit, our team defense. And when I say team defense, all 11 players play team defense. And we only gave up 4 goals in the season, and 2 of them were PKs. And that's pretty outstanding. And we had 14 shutouts in 18 games, and we never gave up more than a goal a game. So that's a lot of strength in our defense that kind of goes unnoticed. The other thing I'd like to mention is, like I said, about Shelby Warren. Our senior captain went down, lost her senior year. I believe the next day she came in. This was early in March before we played a game. Even though she got hurt, she brought in brownies and I think cookies for the rest of the team members. She rallied the team. Instead of them getting down about her being hurt, she lifted herself up first, and then everybody lifted with them, and we ended up 16-2 in the state semis. Even though a critical player for us got injured, she showed her character and maturity, and that's really what high school sports are about. Showing and revealing character and building people up, lifting people up, and Shelby did that all throughout the year. I think that was the most memorable moment that I had this year that will stay with me for a lifetime, is the way Shelby Warren carried herself after her injury, which will never get noticed in any stat sheet. And I'd like to make sure people know about that.
I'm glad you shared that.
Thank you.
Well, we're out of time with this segment, but once again, I'd like to thank you, Coach Gravatt, for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Hope to come back.
Thank you. We're going to head to a commercial break as you're listening to the Anthony Joseph Sports Show, live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. And welcome back, live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. Last week I had the privilege and honor to go to the 12th Annual Drive for Autism event. Got to meet a lot of neat people, a lot of celebrities, and one of them was the former NASCAR crew chief, Jeff Hammond, and he's always on during the regular season for Fox. They call him Hollywood Jeff Hammond, and now we're going to have him live on Catch It Live. Do what? Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Oh, he did? And once again, that was former NASCAR crew chief Hollywood Jeff Hammond. I'd like to thank him. Also, I'd like to thank my first guest, the soccer coach for Caesar Rodney, Coach Daryl Gravatt, as they had a phenomenal season. Well, we're all out of time. Make sure you join me every Tuesday live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. So long, everybody.